Howdy, how's it going? Welcome back, or howdy if you're new. Today is going to be a super quick one. I really wanted to give you guys my experience on capture cards. Maybe my experience will help someone else save some time and some money. All of these were purchased with my own money, and you'll see why, but here it goes. So I started my YouTube journey with a Sony a5100 and an Elgato 1080p capture card. I believe it is the HD60 Pro. It worked very well. I was able to record all my ROG Ally footage, limited to 60 FPS though, but I was able to record everything, and I just had to notate in my videos, hey, the frame rate might look a little off because it's recording in 60 FPS. You get the drift. Well, it was time to upgrade cameras a week or two ago, and I ended up going with a Nikon Z30, which will capture in 4K 30. So naturally I needed a new capture card. So I bought this Nzxt Signal 4K 30. Now this was where I went wrong. I shouldn't have bought that because although I got it on a really good sale on an open box model, under $100, I believe it was like $70, and even new ones are around $130, it will not let you record in 4K 30 for some odd reason with this camera. I tried tons of different cables, all different types of software tricks and workarounds. I called Nzxt. They say it's probably either defective or there's some type of communication between the camera and this that it just doesn't like. So I said, okay, fine. I went to Best Buy and I got this. This is the Elgato 4KX. This thing is absolutely bonkers. You can record in 4K. You can also record on different resolutions up to 240 hertz. I believe at 4K you can do up to 144 hertz if I'm not mistaken. But this thing is awesome. It's USB 3.2. It does HDMI 2.1 and VRR. It has every feature that you can get in a capture card currently. This is as good as it gets. This capture card also has the lowest latency out of any capture card I've tested. These aren't my only two. I've experimented with a few other ones along the way, but I usually just wasn't happy with them for one reason or another. So the old trusty Elgato was just in the rig forever. Until now. Now it's just chilling. It ends up rarely getting used, but this thing I've been using so much, and it has been such a great capture card already, and I love it. I really had to share it with you guys because I know there's going to be at least one or two other people out there who are buying a new 4K camera, or they want to record their gameplay footage from their PS5 or their ROG Ally, Legion Go, another gaming rig. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, this thing can do it. Go ahead, buy it once, and be done with it. Because if you cheap out on a capture card, you might end up regretting it later. A lot of these capture cards are very limited with the bandwidth. They're very limited in the refresh rate, and that limits your FPS of what you're able to capture. So although you may not be able to stream in, 4K 420 FPS or whatever, you still want to be able to capture it and record it. So if you're going to edit it into a YouTube video, it just looks like native, and it looks clean, and it looks nice. It looks as good as it could be. So that to me was important to have. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't bottlenecking my camera back down to a lower resolution. Although 1080p looks fine, but I can tell you when I zoom in and I'm working on one of my handhelds and I need to get a lot more detail, there's just no comparison to 4K. It really is a game changer. So if you were thinking about getting a capture card, definitely consider these points I mentioned and find the right one for you. The Nzxt 4K 30, it's a nope from me, dog. I just wasn't happy with it. Even at 1080p resolutions, it didn't even seem as crisp and as clear as the HD60 Pro did. Maybe it's the bandwidth limitation, I'm not sure. The encoding, I'm not sure. But I can tell you, it's just a nope from me, dog. Elgato all the way. And like I said, it's not paid, not sponsored, have no communications with them. I was just really happy with it, and all the reviews definitely set the right expectations, and I'm just here to back it up as well. It definitely does what it says it can do. Alright guys, I know this was a quick, unconventional, off-the-cuff video, but tons more coming. I'm actually getting ready to start unboxing a monitor, and we're going to get going on that. And if you have any questions, drop them below. I hope you guys have a good afternoon, good evening, or good night.